hello there, everyone.
Yo,
Welcome to the party.
happy
Hi.
Friday.
Hello, happy Friday. Hello.
There they
Yay. Hi.
are.
Hi, everyone. If you missed the tiny hands from our last stream, you weren't here at 11:30. At 11:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we were doing the daily creative challenges. We went to space. I had a little accident, and I shrunk my hands down into tiny little hands. Oh, man, I'm just seeing the replay, and I'm literally dying.
I know, I've turned it off because I do not want to
Yes.
see it.
All right. How is the audio for everyone? How's everyone doing today? Hello, Steven,
Yeah.
Mayana, Cody's here, Adil. Adil, I think we're talking about you
Yeah,
today.
we
Yes, we
are.
are. Yay. Hi,
Air
Lisa.
horns.
Lisa's here too. Yay.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
The only way I know it's Fridays is because we do this. How about you? I'm
I
serious.
think that, yes,
God.
the only
Thank
reason that
God.
I know is
Is that the same with you guys?
this is happening. Yes.
Welcome.
So yes, welcome everybody. If you are new here, hello. My name is Andrew Hochradel. I do branding and streaming and a little bit of everything. I call myself a creative for hire. You can just call me Hoch. It's Hoch, and you can find me at hoch.co, hoch.co. Nick, who are you? Where can people find you?
Nick Longo is my name. Longo Designs is my website. Also on Instagram as well. Come and follow. We do a lot of talking, fun stuff over there. Based in Los Angeles, teach at Cal State Northridge. A few of us are in the house, I see. So yeah, man, this has been a great thing to be here and be able to share some of this good stuff with you guys. We got a good one today. I'm excited.
Congrats, class of 2020. Hi.
I know, totally, right?
I'm a little too big, so I'm gonna do a little shrink ray on myself and go. Oh, there we go. Okay. That worked. That worked out well for me. Cool. So today, what are we doing, Nick? Give us an overview because we need to hop into it real quick here.
I love it. They're giving you the name Hawk Rattlesnake. That's awesome.
Love it.
Today, we are going to be talking all about pitch and pitching your work. And specifically, we're changing gears a little bit. And instead of like pitching just a typical case study that hopefully should pitch for itself in your resume or your portfolio, we're going to show you guys a little sneak peek into our pitch decks that we do for clients for specific client work. And this is stuff you're doing, hopefully once you've been hired or once you've arranged some kind of agreement and you're going into the work, we're going to show you our first response.
Yep. So this will be head to head. We will have a lot of differences and a lot of differences in the way that we pitch, but we're going to pitch to you in the camera as if you were the client. And hopefully this gives you some context that as you're going out there trying to get those internships, trying to get those jobs and get those jobs closed out to get that second half because you got the half deposit up front. We know that you did that. To get that second half of the project, this is how we like to pitch those ideas. So would you like to go first, Nick, or would you like me to go first?
Yeah. What do you think? You want to go first? Go for it.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So something before we hop into that. Sorry, that was such a tease.
By the way, I think you have to send it to me because we're going to be on the delay.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So you want me to go first then?
Yeah, let's do that. So before we start, let's hop over into my browser. And this is where we are pulling all of the information from in all your portfolios. If you tweet or tag us on Instagram, even using hashtag Adobe Office Hours up here, you can see that people are starting to tweet in. Hello, Tamara has given us her portfolio. So you can tweet and just do hashtag Adobe Office Hours, and we will find it and we will bring you hopefully on the stream in one of the other streams. Also, Nick, we have a very special giveaway today. Do you want to tell people what we're doing?
Don't even get me started on this one. Adobe has come through.
It's true.
We're giving away a 1 year, listen to this, guys, a 1 year Creative Cloud subscription.
1 year Creative Cloud. When are we doing that?
Today.
Like today?
Today.
Oh my goodness. So today, how this is going to work is at some point throughout the day, this is such a tease, at some point throughout the day, at a random time, I will be writing down a name that is in chat. Just a random name. I will put it on a little sticky note. And at the end, in the last 5 minutes, I will be holding that up to the camera and you will be winning a free year of Creative Cloud. Now that's not it. Right. That's not actually. You know what? Let's not give away too much. We're giving away a free year.
Pieces, baby steps.
Yes, that should be enough. So just hang out and chat. Make sure that you're active. Make sure you're talking to each other. even critiquing on us on our work or our portfolios.
Yeah.
Going through that. Nick, do you want to go first? I just sent you my deck as well.
Perfect. All right. So we are on mine first, correct?
Yes. Let me hold on. Let me make sure
Excellent.
that this is working for me
Yeah.
real quick.
And you can go straight to page 2 when you're ready.
All right. I need to switch one thing. I'm sorry.
No worries.
For all of you, I just came from another stream, and so my buttons are not working right. Let's go over here to this button, and now we're working, but Nick is gone.
Can you hear me?
Nick's back. Okay, Nick's back. We did it. We did it. Okay.
Woo.
All right. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so on page 2, we can start here. So again, like I said earlier, we're going to show you what we do one-on-one with a client and pitching them work and design that we're hoping to persuade them with. And for this one, I'm showing you, it is a educational tutoring company that is nationwide. We start with their brand ethos. We get into an exact thing that we can kind of build pillars on. And for here, it was score improvement, driven by success, engaged, passionate instructors, and a trusted guidance, right? We just want to make sure before we design anything, we're going straight into what they want and what they need. Next one. So here we get into archetypes. And I think we talked about this a little bit, but one of the things I love to do prior to any designing is do an archetype. And we picked here the sage and the hero. And this tells the client specifically what our goal is. We want them to be looked at as naturally intelligent, knowledgeable, reflective. And I put in all this great content. And they approve this before anything, right? Which is great. I'm showing you kind of 2 decks in one here. And start showing some color palettes right now, because now is a good time to show them. So when they do see the work, they kind of can go back and be like, ooh, the peacock blue means education. You're like, yep. So you've sold them in. Next page. Then we go into logo expectations. And I just kind of, why not give them a little bit more as far as like what road and what path you're going to go through, what it should evoke, what it should like represent. Next page. Then I even show them samples of what we think you should do and samples of what we shouldn't do. And again, all you're doing is you're narrowing this funnel. And you'll see, I thought I was narrowing it down to quite a few little options, but unfortunately, I went a little overboard here, but we've changed ever since. But you can see the stark difference. The column on the left is showing cleaner, simpler, more scalable logo types, whereas the ones on the right are getting a little too collegiate and a little bit too delicate in their vibe, and at small scales probably wouldn't work too well. Next one. We review everything. I summarize it all on one page. This is everything you just saw on the last, kind of give them a recap. And then we go into the next page and we start going into the actual logo presentations. And what I like to do now is almost show the symbol on its own. I show it in different color options. I show it in a colored background, and then I also show it on one application that is somewhat applicable to that company. Don't do a tote bag for something that has nothing to do with it. Or this case, I wanted to do a mug because that's one of the biggest things they give away at trade shows and stuff like that. So again, we show them concept 1, concept 2. Again, you can see it kind of follows the same structure. 3, this became the winning one just for information there. Number 5 and number 6. Please tell me I stopped there, because I think I could have probably gone way overboard, yes. Right?
Oh no, you're good.
Last page I just wanted to show you is very, very important. I always like to show an at a glance page that shows everything on one, because I know there's a lot of cooks in their kitchen, right? There's a lot of them trying to look at this and understand and absorb it all. So I show them this so they can have one page where they can compare and they can compete against each other, right? I think this is where a lot of times the best one stands out. So one thing I mentioned after showing this to Andrew earlier was that he kind of laughed and said, wow, 6 options. And I said, yes, that's even a reduced one from how I used to do it probably 5 or 6 years ago. We're talking sometimes like 13. That is the wrong way to go 100%. So I've learned my lesson to shrink it down. Now we're at about 2, I say, max. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm interested to see yours. But if anyone has a question about what I just showed, feel free to drop it in on chat while we chat here. But
yeah, and
go for it, bro.
Totally, yeah. So drop those questions into chat. I'm gonna hop in to mine.
Yes.
Not to cut you short, so I'm gonna hop in real quick.
Go right in.
And I'm gonna do about 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna pitch to the camera, all you in chat, as if you were the client. And so when I present, I present one concept. There are times that I'll do options. I tend to present one concept to say, we've talked and we've worked through the process. This is a solution I have. I have a very in-depth questionnaire that I send to them. I create user profiles based on celebrities so they can pick out people that they feel like represent their brands. And so, Nick, there's some there's some questions coming in if you just want to take notes. I'm going to hop in and I'm going to go for it. So cool. Hello, Health Pro EMS Training. That is you. You are the client. So looking at your logo and what we were working with before, I noticed a lot of incongruities, a lot of issues that I thought we could fix and not necessarily refresh the logo or change it, but really just button it up so that it is technically correct to set you up for success in the long run as you begin to expand. So we've taken the logo, we have solved a lot of the issues that we were seeing here, and really buttoned that up so that it will print well and so that it can scale infinitely. Now, going through, we also didn't have different lockups of the logo, so we have created a system of lockups that you can use in t-shirts, social, however you need it. We've tried to solve that problem for you. Now, looking at the type, I really wanted something that represented the classroom. The type that I chose for WorkSands is very strong and authoritative, and it's telling us that there's bold information to be communicated, but it's also very welcoming, right? It feels like a teacher asking you to come into the classroom using those soft, round edges. Fajala is very strong. It's almost a newspaper font, and so that brings back ideas of something that's important that we want to read through, and then going into bitter copy with those sharp serifs that it feels sharp, refined, and maybe even more upper class, but is easy to read because your eye can track along with those serifs. So looking at our color palettes, I updated the old color palette to a new one because we said that we wanted to bring new life and we wanted a key attribute of this brand to be energy, to be movement, and to be continuing on a path. So we ramped up the colors just a little bit to have that electricity flow through it. And next, I want to take you into the elements that I want to use in your design system. Even though we didn't refresh the logo, I wanted to create a brand system for you so that you had a visual language to communicate. And the basic concepts that we're working with are the idea of rises and falls that go back to those concepts we talked about of movement, transportation, energy, growth, pathways. The idea of overlaps, of people coming together and showing these colors interacting with each other, representing community. And the idea of tabs to show that there is some kind of educational purpose to it. So scrolling back through, I want to show how these brand elements come together. We have the rises and falls, and maybe this is starting at point A, and we're growing together in these classes and then moving toward point B. But maybe someone else joins us on that journey, and now we're moving somewhere together. And as we start to move in these classes, we're starting to overlap and see the interactions, and it's becoming this web of ambulances going from one place to another, of movement, of momentum, of transportation, that we are rising to the occasion, and we are really creating something that has movement and momentum that people will want to be a part of, as if it is a movement in history. So continuing on, you can see how this system starts to roll out in letterhead, in business cards, showing that it is always dynamic, it is always in motion, and the type goes together to communicate exactly how we want it to. Seeing this in application on phones, on social media, and using this system as crops for photos, as frames. It's something that I've tried to create so that you can get all these assets and continue to build out this brand system without my help. I have tried to solve the problems that you'll have in 5 years instead of the problems that you're having now, so that we can be ready for what comes next. So this is the system that I've built for you, and after this, I'll be sending you all of the assets and then walking you through with some educational videos of how to apply this brand and how to use it as you go off on your own. There we go. 5 minutes. Got it.
I think that was even shorter, dude. That was brilliant. Yeah.
So that's how I would pitch a concept to a client. And if you want to, I'm actually doing that like with an actual client live on Tuesday. Tuesday night, just hit that subscribe, follow, whatever button on my Behance, and you'll get a notification 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I will be going live and pitching an actual project that I've been working on Behance to an actual client. So you get to see what that's like, and then how I take feedback and my jar of tears that I will that I will take.
Yeah, but I think what's neat is the confidence you have in presenting reflects on, I think, specifically the client's answer back to you. The more confident and the more strong you are in explaining something, I feel the less you're going to have, oh, I don't like that, the way that gray is. They won't make those comments if you've explained it to them better.
Yep. And what I try to do is I did it as I talked is I try to plant back and put bullets in my arsenal that are, hey, we talked about it having a lot of energy, and this really accomplishes the goal of us having energy. And that way I'm saying, hey, I heard you say this, and I made this decision because you said that. And then that way they're like, oh, it feels like, I don't really like it. And I'm like, well, you did say that you wanted energy, and I've given you energy. And so there is a solution to that problem. And so if it's not the solution that maybe you wanted, either we find something that is better for the goal we're trying to accomplish as opposed to the preference that you have for this project.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true. And describing those little things as far as how graphic systems work and overlap and play, there's a reason for all those.
Yes.
And I think those are the things we have to communicate more. And as a student or a young designer, find those little things in your work that you can brag about. What a difference that's going to make in the way they just look at you and be like, that's the kind of person will be like, I'll go back to Andrew because I like what he's doing. And the next thing I do, he's going to do the exact same thing. So you're building your reputation with each one of these things. Don't lose sight of those 100%.
It's true. And if you're pitching like that, and if you have something in your pitch deck and you don't have an answer to the question why, take it out. If you can't define why you did something or why it is there, literally just throw it away.
Totally. Perfect.
All right, let's hop in with that. So that's how we would pitch. I know that was a lot. That was our education for today. Let's hop into some portfolios and start looking at those. And today, instead of looking as your instructors or people that are trying to help you improve your portfolios, we will be looking at it as if we are your clients or your investors looking to invest in whatever your project is. So we pick portfolios that have projects that could be pitched to us, that we could sign off, and we are the ones that will be signing the checks. Today, we'll be doing that. So let's hop into our first one with Sabhyata Jain. Jain.
Let's do it.
Yes. All right, I'm going to let you take it away and show my screen, and I'm going to answer a couple questions in chat as we hop into there.
Okay.
Where do we want to start?
Do we want to go with souvenir for Israel?
Yes.
There we go.
We
got that. All right, cool. Awesome. So we are looking through here, and I think at first glance we loved the artwork, but Andrew just said, we're talking about the presentation here now. How was this laid out? Was there a headline at the very beginning that told us what specifically she's talking about, right? What is the goal here? And I could tell what they are because I think we understand that these are going to be playing cards based on some architecture, but wouldn't it be great to give a little bit more of a headline? Remember, if you are not there to talk about it, can this pitch deck be there as a replacement for you? You know what I mean? So make sure you are telling us in a headline right up front what specifically the objective was here, and then we can get into it. But other than that, I think it would be great to show these off again in a few more applications other than just on the kind of like the slight white gray background. I'd love to see these in action. I'd love to see these on a coffee table with some architecture books next to it. Anything else to enhance the use of these things in play maybe there's a mock-up with people having them in hands. That could be a really great one,
Yep.
So what do you think, bro?
I agree. And I think looking at this from an investor that I've hired you for, hey, I want you to help promote the architecture scene in Israel. Looking at this, I don't know what you're selling me. I know that you're selling me cards, but a lot of times it's less about selling your design and the product and more about selling the experience that people will have with it. And I don't know what experience I'm going to have with this. And so having some copy like this, it says, these set of playing cards are an ode to the Bauhaus architecture in Tel Aviv, Israel. Each card tells you about the building. It's describing what the product is. I want you to sell me on the experience. That it says, travel with me to, a distant land of Israel as we experience the gorgeous architecture together and go on a vacation with every card we lay on the table. Like, good copy like that will help sell me. And to me, I'm like, cool, I want to go on a vacation. I want to see these homes. Oh, it's like a card thing? Okay, yeah, sure. Whatever. To where if you sell it right, it could be something else. The product kind of falls either way. Like these could be posters, and I'd be like, cool. If you sell it right, these would be gorgeous, and definitely show people. I want to put myself in the scene and relate myself to it. So yeah, show people holding cards, even if it's just like the back of cards that are not yours. It doesn't matter. I will put your cards into those cards in my brain.
Yeah. And expand on this and make them, like you said, posters, t-shirts, anything else that could be a celebration of this stuff. That would be great. Bring in those human folks. That would be a huge little asset to this thing, just to see it in action. I think it would be great. I'd love to even know like the system of why you chose, just a breakdown of like, I love how the 3 has 3 circles like kind of hidden. I love how the 6 has the 6 the triangles hidden. I'd love to know some of that process as to how you chose that. Maybe a breaking down of one card and how the system works would be really, really cool.
Absolutely. And yeah, definitely put these on bus stops next to buildings, and then like literally put it next to it and be like, hey, this is that building, like next to it, that it's like bus stop. And then like an arrow that's like, this building's over there. And then maybe some little info just to show that it's more than just cards.
Yeah.
All right,
I would also say, can I make one more suggestion?
Yep.
Since it's a home thing, it's a card game or whatever. One thing I've been telling a lot of our students is to take a project you currently have and add one element to it that is related to our current situation that we're going through right now. Do a cool package of this thing that's like something about, playing at home, staying at home with family. Like you said, journey through Israel while staying at home, like something like that to show you you're understanding how to communicate under a different time and pivoting to something unique. Give it a shot.
Yeah, I agree. All right, do we want to hop to another project?
Yeah, you pick this one. Go for it.
Oh my, me? Let's do the NGMA web and mobile experience.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
George Takei. Oh my.
Wow. Great first impression. I think we love the color here, right? Like this is a palette that just sparks, and it looks like you pulled it right from the inspiration.
It's gorgeous.
So
yeah.
I'm in love with that. Again, we are talking about presentation, and the goal here was, let's talk about a sales pitch, right? What would be the perfect headline to put at the front of this thing? I think you worded it nicely. I was trying to say like, just browse our museum right from your phone would be the first thing that would tell me everything about it. But I think you even had an even better way of saying it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So if we are the museum, and you're like cold pitching this to me, I want to know why I'm going to throw you $50,000 or whatever for this
not
app.
More. Yeah.
And the thing that I was thinking is literally a big headline that just says, experience the culture and wonder of a museum from the comfort of your home, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it's, what is that elevator pitch that if you catch me in the elevator and I own this museum, what is the one thing you're going to say to me to really sell me on what this is? Because the work is so great. But as I scroll through here as an investor, or even if this was a cold sale, I would be like, okay, what are you selling? Is it just like our new website? Like, is it going to be like merch or something? What are you selling to me? And helping to define that up front and then hold my hand as you go through would be very, very helpful.
Can you imagine a family sitting down with a phone or an iPad in their hand and they got this on the screen? Again, applicable to what's happening now, you can throw in an element that just says, hey, companies have had to completely shift and be online. We were future-proofed here by having a museum online at any time.
Yep, exactly.
And add a gift shop, right? That, there's still items available that you can purchase and we can deliver home. T-shirts, banners, bags, whatever it is. Because man, you've got your art. Your art's done. Just present it stronger. And I think you got an incredible case study here.
Yep. Tell me the story that leads me to you writing a check. Why should I write you a check? It's
exactly.
Here. It's all here. You just have to tell me why. Because I can look at this and I'm like, it's gorgeous. Just tell me why to give you money. Yep. Cool. So if you're just joining us, we just had a huge spike. So I'm guessing somebody tweeted something. Hi.
This is awesome.
If you are just joining us, we are doing a very special giveaway today for this stream. During the entirety of the stream, I will be writing down some names. We will pick one of those names at the end of the stream, and you will win a free 1-year subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud.
Can I put my name in this mix?
You cannot. You will not write it down on my sticky note. I currently already have 3 names written down.
Ooh.
So I'm going to continue to write down names. Just keep active in chat. Let us know your thoughts on these projects. And I will be writing those down. And kind of going back and forth. So I had a question real quick before we move on to the next one. Somebody asked me, what happens when I present the one concept and the client is like, nope, that's not it. I have walked along with the client all the way along the process, so that by the time I show them that final concept, they know that it's coming, and it is me translating what they've said audibly into a visual medium. And so it's definitely come in. And if you were on my stream last time, you saw last night on Tuesday or whatever, you saw that it didn't go well and they didn't like it. And I will shift and augment that into a revision of that one concept. Doing a whole new concept to me will usually result in a lesser idea. So usually I try to keep it stuck on one. And yes, the motions here are done with XD and exporting with GIFs.
Yeah,
so
I think that's important to say what you did. You led them to that. There was no surprise that they were just going to be like, Andrew, you're only giving us one thing. If you take them along that thing and that hand holding through your process, there's no surprise.
Yep. And it was very much a conversation of, okay, we don't like this visual style, but all of the core ideas are here. Let me shift that a little bit. And actually my stream on Tuesday, if you want to go back to my profile and rewatch it, you can see me take that shift from the feedback they gave of the ideas that we had and shift it just a little bit to the left. And we landed on something that might be a lot better.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right, let's hop on to, no, we have a couple more minutes. Let's look at one more.
Yeah, let's do it. You liked Whispers of Partition? Is that the one you liked?
Whispers. Yes, Whispers of Partition.
All right. So what are your first impressions here on the pitch side, right?
Yes, so I'm going to take this again as it looks like this is a telling a story. To me, this is something that I would see again in a museum. Like, it's a great exhibition, and I think that like a lot of your work is cool museum exhibition stuff. It's the perfect mix of journalism and design, which I absolutely love. So for this one, again, I would tell us, and you say a little bit here, and I actually think that this is a really good copy of what are their stories, where are they now. Whispers of Partition is an initiative to document these stories. And then you tell us what it is. I would tell me a little bit about why I should engage with this, right? So Whispers of Partition is an initiative to document these stories. You will blank, and with this, you will hopefully blank, of like, how is it going to affect me as I go through that? Because that's what I want as someone that is going to sign off of this and buy it from you or sign that check for the project is what are my users, what are my customers going to get out of this? What are they going to engage with this? How are they going to see this stuff differently? So scrolling through, I think the work is amazing. The way that you've captured the people, I absolutely love the notes that you took and the way that you're presenting.
Cool
it's
idea.
Like, I'm a sucker for like giant blocks of text that like people are going to get mad about. I love this and love how you have, that was you, Nick. How you have highlighted the key portions, because that way I know what's important to you and I know what I'm about to see. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I think this is the thing where all the elements as well are there. It's about bringing us through a path that tells the story of what it is. To first have a block of copy that's so light and airy, and I don't feel like I need to read. I'd rather see one headline that again tells me in 4 words or less, what is this, right?
Yes.
And then I'm like, ooh, let's see the thing here, because it looks like you've collected so much data. Love the pictures, love the research, the books and your journaling. I'd get a much better high resolution picture of those, show those, and maybe what happens is there's a way to animate those where the things you want to highlight maybe come in and out, as instead of highlighting a huge block of text here on the right. Yep. Maybe something a little more interactive, or as you hover over it, it pops out a little bit bigger. That'd be kind of cool. Again, I don't need to know so much about the font that takes up that much space. And then it goes into this like edge to edge thing that just seems like great stuff, but I don't know what it is.
I agree.
And I want to give her more credit for this, because it's like, oh, there's so much work here, you know?
Yep. Yeah. And we've talked about this a whole bunch of times, is the idea of selling the experience over the project. And here, even showing, we've talked about this, of having like the custom colors named, of, you know, what is the experience? To me on this project, custom colors don't matter. To me, this is about selling and showing how do I make an audience engage with the design thinking behind this project. And
Yes.
I don't need all the bells and whistles. I really just want to know and be sold on the experience of this project.
Yeah, I wonder too if seeing more of a live screen action of it, like that last screen to me looks very intriguing. I'm like, ooh, that's an interesting way to like. I can see that all the wording works here. I'd love to see that on the phone in action, moving, and that might be like, ooh, I totally get what this is now.
Yep, I
That
agree.
that might help me a little bit, but very cool. Very.
Yep.
I mean, I love seeing work that I know this took 3 months, not
Yes.
4 days.
Yep.
So good on you with that.
Good work. Yeah, good work. Small things to like sell me on. Like if this National Gallery of Modern Art, wherever this is,
Yes.
government, yeah, of India. So if you haven't gone to them, make a case for this, make a pitch, and try to sell this to them because it is really good. Unless it's an actual project that you have done, it's really really good. All right, so a couple questions from chat. When is the next Office Hours? Next Friday. We've actually gotten renewed for another month, so we will be here through all of May, all of June, and we will be partying with you, doing this every Friday, same place, same time.
Yes.
And a couple other things. If you would like to engage in chat, again, we are giving away a full year of Adobe Creative Cloud. What I'd love to hear from you is, what do you want us to cover? What do you want us to talk about in the next month? Put your suggestions for topics or ideas in chat, and we have someone that will be taking those down, and those can go toward your entry for the free year of Creative Cloud.
Mm-hmm. You got to say that really. What was that?
Oh, hold on.
Yes.
I need my little like.
They're coming back.
Year of Creative Cloud.
It's getting crazy.
All right, we're losing it, everyone.
Where are we off to next?
Oh gosh. All right. So next up, we are going to go to Tomasz Kantek.
Nice.
Tomasz. That is
from Poland.
We've had so many good. Until what time? We are an hour show, so it would be 1 to 2.
Yes.
We've had so many good names on this show that
know.
are like warm ups to do before we go live. Right?
Yes,
if I was like there, I'm like Tomasz Kantek. Like it's really good. I absolutely love that. Okay, cool. UX portfolios. A lot of people asking for UX. Today we're actually doing an industrial designer as well. So I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. Cool. Yep. Oh man, I love all these things coming in. Super fun.
Perfect.
Okay, motion graphics. All right, next one. Tomasz Kantek. Are you in chat, Tomasz? Hello.
Let's
Nick,
see.
you can take it away. Tell us where to go, what to look at, what we're going to be seeing.
We're going to go to the second one, I Create Personal Brand from 2019.
Got it.
Okay. So at first I kind of liked this. How do you feel about showing your personal branding exploration as a case study?
I love it because for me, it gives me like leeway to like do a case study on whatever I want. Like, so
Gotcha.
I mean, the majority of my big case studies, like my Hawk 2020 campaign, that is like my big like personal branding. I'm trying to think of what else I've done that's been canceled con, like things that I branded for myself. It allows me to show whatever I want.
Good. Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it. I'm okay with it. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, I was going through this earlier, and I think it's a clean case study. I think life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. I think that's kind of neat. I think it's a fun mark. My question would be, how, on a design side, how close does it relate to the font choice? I feel like maybe there's a little disconnect there. But I think the one thing, if we're going back to the pitch thing here, individually, I feel like you've pitched things kind of nicely the way you've connected pages. It kind of does run through the process, which is great. But if we go back to the actual page with your tiling here, my question would be, as someone coming in here to say, am I hiring him for work, is that you've done 4 to 5 different logos of yourself. And to me, that might show an inconsistency or lack of confidence in the one logo that you've got to choose for you to move forward with. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are all based on an M. And I think what we got to see is, one, like, what is your experience in other things? this is a great example of showing that the pitch starts with your little slide here, your cover slide for what you're doing. And I'm still trying to figure out what the best ones are. Like, how do you do that? Should they be in a uniform feel? But when I go through just even looking at the tiles, I'm almost thinking, I don't know where to start because they all look kind of the same to me, you know? We can click into which, was there anyone in particular you want to look at next?
Yeah, so
Um,
I think overall, just looking at this, and I'm just thinking this right now, I would love to see this as like a mega case study. Like, here is how I
ooh,
have evolved since
yeah.
2000, because it looks like it's 2015, 16, 19, and then 2020. Of here's how I have evolved. I know my Slack did it again. I'm so sorry, guys. I mute all
Uh,
the channels, and there's always one that is not muted. So I would love to see this a mega case study to show here's how I've evolved. Like, here's my thought process through a 2015, and then my logo evolved to this, and then my logo
yeah.
has ended at where we are in 2020, which
What a
we're going to
cool
take a look at in a
retrospect.
second.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to see is just how have you evolved as a designer, and then
Yes.
back it up with other work. I'd put up more projects because it's not bad to have your personal branding because this is
Mhm.
actually a great case study. I could just see it as one big case study.
I like the idea of a retrospect of your branding and
Yes,
show that you've cared enough to enhance and revise or update your logo throughout the years. But be careful with it too, because I think we got to think about the person coming to this site. They are not a designer. They're hiring you because you're the designer. And I think if there's any risk of confusing them, I just don't think it should be there.
I
Like,
agree.
maybe it's a fun little personal thing. And I think, dude, you've nailed it by saying, put it together, make a cool retrospect. But we need to see branding here that you can do or design work you've done for a variety. I know someone mentioned about the generalist thing, and that's something we can definitely base an episode on in the next few weeks. But I think you have a good design vibe. I feel like you put a lot of time and thought into your work. Let's see some of the other things other than just this name branding thing for yourself. You know,
I agree.
and this is a great example of your pitch starts even right here, and you could lose someone if there aren't a good variety of things and clickable. You know, it's that clickbait thing. It's like it's literally you're designing that little cover sheet to be, yeah, I want to see what's behind there.
Yep.
Let's see. You know.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, all of this other work, I'm like, okay, cool. This is cool stuff. Like some of this older work of like redesigning the logo. It's good to see your progress. This is an okay case study. I think you could use more copy here on the OKS
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. But then I look at your most recent brand for the 2020, and I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is good. Like, this is
Yeah.
good stuff. This is a great case study. You're walking me through it. Like, this is fantastic. And
This
so I
one's the
would take the
strongest.
stuff
Yeah.
that, like, this is the bar. Anything that is more than one step below this bar, I would take out. And
Yep.
so kill some of those projects. I think you set a bar so high that it's
Yes.
awesome, and you need to be able to like maintain that with the rest of your work.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I'm glad you called out this first one, the 2021, because there's a very different approach here. It feels more confident. It feels more agency to me. You know,
Yes,
by just seeing these
yes,
things, I love when when people show me that you're taking the pencil, the letter K, and it's designed into this emblem. It tells me a little bit about you. So this is a great one. This is maybe all you need for now to talk about your brand and what you've done in it. I'm not sure if I'm seeing the usage of the magenta and the cyan. Oh, it's in some of those lines. There it is. Okay. He had two colors in the palette that I was wondering where they are, and
oh
they're
yes,
in they're in the diagonal lines in the stationery. I think that's a nice touch. It kind of reminds me of the CMYK vibe.
yep,
It feels really cool there. So I think my suggestion to you would be build two or three more that you feel are in this zone, but for totally different brands.
yep,
Finding those, even if it's passion projects, even if it's a neighborhood business that you think needs rebranding, go ahead and do it as a case study. You
yep.
know,
And
that's really cool.
we had a question. So yeah, I would say in summation, Tomasz, I would say take out some of these projects and
Mm-hmm.
condense them into one mega case study because you build really good case studies. The work is really great. I would just love to see more of where you are now. As someone
Yes.
who would hire you, right, of trying to get that job, I would look at that case study that you have that's most recent and be like, yeah, I totally hire him for a branding job.
Mm-hmm.
But then I would start looking deeper in some of this older work, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't like. It seems like he's still kind of like learning. That I would just show your best stuff so that people will be like, yes, I want to hire him. This is awesome.
Yeah. And a few other little things I would say is like your About Me copy has a lot of little functional typos in there, like with between spacing and double spacing and none. And so just be very, very careful about that too. Those are things that are relevant to your pitching ability, right?
Yep.
I know some people that won't even look past that if that's that kind of stuff. And I know that from just complete like knowledge of the fact that I have typos all the time. So all of us need to make sure people are looking at it over and over and over again. So make sure you're doing that 100%. Again, and make those covers so tempting that you have to click on it and be like, what is behind there? Let's see the rest of this work.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
And I have too made so many typos. Nothing is more fun than making a typo on a live stream where there are a ton of people watching who are very happy to let you know that you have made a typo.
Yes.
Okay, so as an employer, do you care about quantity or quality as far as portfolios? Nick just answered it's quality. If
Hands
you just
down.
sent me this project, I would be like, wow, okay. Do you have like any other things? Send me one more thing, and I'm like, you're hired. Like this is a great case study. That first one, like I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you want to take a stand and just show a bunch of breadth of work that you can be hired for a bunch of random things, show all of it. That's what I do on my site. On one of my sites is just like, here's 110 projects, figure it out. So if you want to do that, it's either way. You can kind of pick and choose what's right for you.
Yes.
All right, let's hop over to Adil.
Adil,
I'm going to take a shot at it. Lokhandwala.
Dude, that was perfect.
Lokhandwala.
Yes.
Lokhandwala, probably.
From India.
Yes,
awesome.
From India. We are totally global today, I believe. We have India, we have Poland, and then back to India. Yeah, we did it.
Unreal.
That's fun.
We went around the world in 42 minutes.
Together with us. And the real prize is the friends we made along the way and the 1 year of Adobe Creative Cloud that we are giving away in about 10 minutes. I've got some names written down here. I'm actually going to start a second sticky note because I'm
assuming, the more people that are, if they're chatting more, the chances are better, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm writing down a bunch of names, and then maybe we'll pick a number, and I'll have you, that's the way that we will pick that. It feels right. All right, so here's a question. I'm new to Adobe and design. What is considered improper spacing, and how do you recognize this mistake? So, Nick, do you have any thoughts on that?
It's in what, though? In type? In
probably type.
A layout? Well, I mean, type is like, in type, it's literally about, one, making sure you have something auto-checking or you can use auto-check specifically on Illustrator. I have mine like clicked on Illustrator. So as I'm typing, it's telling me right there, typo, improper use or whatever. There are other things you can use in your written stuff if you're doing it on Word or like Grammarly, whatever it is. But it's also showing someone else that work because there are typos right in front of you that you probably don't even see. Yes. So have other eyes on them 100%. Okay.
Yep. And I have, I like to have a gen pop, which to me is just general population. So for a long time, and she's creative now, so it like kind of doesn't count. But I had a project manager who was not creative at all, and I would send her everything. Just be like, hey, can you look at this? And her number one feedback all the time is it just needs room. It needs to breathe a little bit. And so as someone that is like, doesn't translate that straight to creative, hearing that to me says, oh, it needs more space. And so what I like to do is I look at something and think, okay, if this was weighted, where would it be falling to? If this was a deep breath, do I have room to take a deep breath as I look at it? Or does it feel like I'm very crunched in? So yes, and then Command I in pretty much any program will do a spell check for you. And it will just run right through.
I love it.
Yes. And yeah, don't forget to post your portfolios. Let's show that one more time. You can post your portfolios using hashtag Adobe Office Hours right up here. And that will get
those
you
hands up
into a place. Oh yeah. Hold on. Yeah, let's do that. In Adobe Office Hours. Oh, it's too far for me. right up there. And Adobe Office Hours will put you in here, let us find your portfolios so that we can review them in weeks to come. Mayan, thank you so much for being honored to be a part of this community. We love that you're here, and we love you too.
Yes.
All right. Do we want to do the last portfolio for the day before we do our giveaway?
Let's do it.
All right. So this one, people have been asking for not design stuff. We love design. Nick and I are designers, but we also love to talk about other things because we love design thinking and design principles.
Yes.
So today we're looking at an industrial designer and a photographer, right? Little
I
out
love
there, a little
this.
different.
Great.
But we are going to jump into it. Where do we want to start, Nick?
First, I want to say I love the cropping of all of these tiles.
Yes, your tiles are gorgeous.
Just so engaging. And I think that what's nice here too is showing, even in this thing, make sure you're loading into Behance when you hear a very high quality image because it will show. So beautifully done.
Yes.
I think we want to go ahead.
Sorry, overall, the fact that you have an even amount of projects, you just have 12 projects, it's not overwhelming. It's curated down to probably your best 12. I'm sure that there are more.
Yeah.
It's great that I'm like, cool, this feels like it is composed. It feels like it is settled for me as the viewer. I think, okay, cool. This person is refined, and I might want to look at their work and give them a chance to maybe hire them for the refinement that they have even in their presentation.
Yes. And I think it's obvious right from the beginning, this is an industrial design designer. So I love that too as well. So do you want to start with the Bono one, or do you want to start with Twister? Which one did you want to start with?
Let's start with Bono.
Okay. First of all, we're like, whoa, okay.
Yep.
Want this right now. I live in Southern California. Don't even need this, but
it's great.
Love this thing. This is
also
beautiful.
Olga, yes, you can send in your illustration portfolios. Anything that you have that is creative.
Oh, yes.
Send it in. # Adobe Office Hours.
Yes. So we're looking through here. I think, again, as great as this is and as cool as this is, what if you can romance this with a headline that just says, a bonfire anytime, anywhere, something like that. Because that's exactly what his pictures are telling me. But I want to see that headline.
Yep. And even something that's like, and I'm literally just giving you these things, trademark, like literally a headline that over these photos just says like the warmth of community or something like that. That is right.
Pull out our heartstrings.
Yeah. Right. Let us know the experience that we will have, because I can put myself in any of these pictures you have at the top, but I want you to tell me why I should put myself there. Tell me what I'm looking for.
This is really interesting that we're blending both the pitches we did, which are to the client, but the natural thing here that's connecting is I'd love to see everyone trying this, and I'm going to do it the same. That headline at the front of our case study, think of it as a billboard for whatever you are talking about, and write that beautiful line of copy. I think we've given great ideas. This is I'm doing it tomorrow. This is great.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So we're scrolling down. Great to see all these different ideas and sketches. It almost feels like, look at the progression from left to right. Isn't that kind of cool?
Yep.
The way here's the grills, and then maybe here's a mixture of some, funkiness, and then all of a sudden it becomes refined, and he has the end result. And I think that's just beautiful. These renderings are fantastic. I'm assuming it's all in some incredible 3D thing, and it's probably an 8 gig file. Kudos to you. Love it. It gets into here. I think, again, you could take us through, what would be a great idea for this is when you go onto any case study or sales pitch online for an electronics product or a new smart home device, that the way they walk you through it is I feel what's maybe missing in his pitch here, is that kind of, okay, we've established what it is. Now take us through the untaking out of the box, the setting it up, and then the enjoying it.
Yes.
Right. That would be really, really cool.
Yep.
What do you guys think of this product? It's just so awesome looking.
It's great. And Adil is here. Hello, friend. Thanks for joining. And I think that as I look through this and as I scroll through, I definitely have that feeling. Again, the work is so good, and I would buy this product in a second.
Yes.
But for me, and as like an investor, this is definitely something that you would be pitching to an investor with this new concept, these great renderings, of looking through this and then saying, okay, cool. So like I have it, and like I have like this is the prototype that's on the desk in the pitch room.
Yes.
What do I do with it? Like, where's it gonna go? What, like, I want to see it in context. I want to
Yes.
see like someone sliding a button. I want to see how it applies to me. We talked about this before, that QVC always has close-ups. Oh, here,
Yes.
I'll give you the full treatment here. Let's go back to camera 1 and I'll give you the full treatment. So
Oh
QVC
no.
always has close-ups on hands, on people's hands doing things, okay?
That's
And so
creepy.
you always want to show people interacting with whatever the product is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you want to see their hands touching whatever this stuff is.
Yes.
And I want to put myself in here and be able to interact with this.
Yes. And you made a great point. An investor wants to know, what is the advantage of this product? So if you imagine having it next to alternative things, like you have it with the heaters there or whatever, but is this cheaper? Is this safer?
Yep.
Can this be on all night? Like, I know a lot of times when you see things that are bought for the house, a big selling point is, can this be on and there's no fear of anything? Like, it's made for that. Like, tell us a little bit more about that and why this is the advantage to the space heater that we all have right now.
Yep.
That would be great.
I agree.
And I believe, is Adil in the chat?
He is.
I'd love to know, Adil, if you could, if I was an investor, how would you answer this question? How is this safe being on the floor, especially in the middle of the night if I'm walking around barefoot? I'd love to know. I'd love to know what your answer would be.
That could be a big sell in there.
Exactly.
The fact that there's a tiny hands little emoji makes me so happy. People being,
oh my God. There you go.
Hawk hands. Yes, Hawk hands.
I love it.
The good thing we were doing at the beginning of stream 2 is they actually will suction cup so that I can wear them as like little hand horns.
Even better.
Right? We've lost it, guys.
We've got it. We've obviously gone there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's only one mod in chat, and so we're out. Yeah, hashtag
yes, and Narco's right. They should make George Costanza hand finger things.
Yes, exactly. All right, let's look at one more project. We got about 4 minutes before we do our huge giveaway. So keep that chat active, and we'll keep going here. I'm just seeing the replay. I'm wasting so much time.
Right, don't look.
Which one do we want to do?
I know you liked Twister. I think it was between Twister and Tang for me.
Twister.
Because, yeah, let's see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Twister. Let's look at this real quick, and then we'll do the giveaway. So I love how you walk me through this. I don't love the application of it once we get all the way to the bottom.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, cool. This is like a cool prototype. But as an investor, the way that you have laid this out and the way that you have told me what the concepts are, even though the visuals are not there, it's what I've said in other streams before. A great idea with an okay application is still a great idea, as opposed to a bad idea with a great application that's still a bad idea. So I think that you have a great idea here and the application is okay, but as an investor, you sold me so hard on how this works, how to do it. There are power-ups involved. What's the changes and how do you address those? So I love this from a pure selling point.
Yes. I think there's ways I love that you have the interaction issues and you having what is the problem? And now you're telling me the solution, and that's great. And then you go into Twister 2.0. Here's another thought. If your overall pattern and movement and thing of your case study and your pitch, if you're making it custom to the actual product, go all out. I want to see funky fonts. I want to see, things with dots and everything. If not, make it a standardized template that changes for each one. Yep. So either go all the way or stick to one that you really, really like. Again, I think there's just a lot of things here where it's like alignment and stuff. I'm seeing some stuff that's a little off. I think your app screens look a little like templateized to me, not final. So if this is more of in progress stuff, tell us that, because if that's what the actual app looked like, I don't think a person would probably move forward. And then your application thoughts. I love that you built a little setup there and everything, but if there's any way you can do it without, it looks like there's a lot of tape on the floor and everything. Find a way to kind of present it a little bit more real. Yep. And I think you got it. But I love the added dimension, putting it on the wall, killer ID, just fine tune this pitch 100%. Okay. Yep.
And there's so many people in chat saying there's too much text, and I'm going to take all of you on. I don't think there's enough text. I think that this is
I think
the
there's
proof
a
of
lot.
concept pitch. Like to me, like if I showed this to an investor, I could sell this idea. I could get $250,000 for this new update of Twister, and that's going to finance me building out this app to look better. I think this is a case study of thought, not necessarily of application. And we look at a lot of things that look pretty here. And even though this isn't the most built up and pretty, people are still taking too much text. I disagree.
Yeah.
Even though this isn't the most pretty, this sells the idea. And that's what I want to see if I'm trying to get an investor to invest in this.
I get it. If this was page by page and you were sitting in a meeting, the type quantity is fine. But I think in the case study, it might be a little bit too much. The other thing I was going to say before because we got to go, add a video of this in play. Put a video of this.
Put a video of people playing. Yes.
Yeah, killer. All right.
Absolutely. Yep. And
we gotta.
Okay, maybe it helps. I know we gotta go. Maybe it helps to put on here that this is a prototype, that this is a
work in progress
concept, whatever it is. Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. What are we doing now? What do we got to do? We got to give away something.
Yeah. Sorry, I was fighting with chat, and my brain still wants to fight them. Let's give away some stuff.
So how are we doing this? You got some names.
I have a list of names.
You want to apply some numbers?
Yes.
What do you want to do?
All right, chat.
Here we go, chat.
You put numbers in chat. Put in a number between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 9. Put in a number between 1 and 9, and Nick is going to pick one of those numbers from one of those people. That person will not be the winner, but he is going to pick one of the numbers, and then those will be selected from the sticky notes that I have.
All right. So I'm going to just pick any of these numbers I see.
Any of the numbers that come through in chat once they catch up real quick. Let's hop back to our main screen here.
All right, guys. Start giving them away.
What
giveaway? We're giving away a year Creative Cloud subscription, compliments of Adobe.
All right, numbers are coming in.
Oh, I see my lucky one, and I see it a lot. I'm going to go with number 7.
Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. William Blanco. William Blanco, you are our winner.
What?
William, do you know William?
Yeah, that's great, dude.
William Blanco, just to show you, I have the sticky notes. Here they are, and William was at the number 7 spot. Oops, over here on top. My handwriting's terrible. So, William, you are our winner. Congratulations. I know you're in chat because I was going to say you have to be present to win. But you are our winner. Thanks so much for tuning in. And y'all, we've gone too long. I'm so sorry.
Have we?
No,
we're good.
No, we have like 1 minute, like 1 or 2 minutes.
That just ended, but
so yes, you can also remember, go put in your portfolio. Dang it, we got cut off. Oh man. Okay, let's keep going for the review.
Yes.
All right, so what you can do also is you can make sure to tweet using #OfficeHours to get considered for next week, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye, guys. See you later.